Hey guys, good morning. Today I wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about our thought life and mindset. I don't know if you realize that we can't always control the thoughts that come into our mind. So if you're a spiritual person, you know that God's ancient enemy is really great at putting thoughts in our mind. He can't read our mind, he's not omniscient, but he knows the thoughts that are in our mind that he put there. So a lot of times, guys, even with, we might have heard negative things people spoke about us. Could be our parents, could be our teachers, our family members, former friends, boyfriends, girlfriends. Sometimes we get stuck in life with hearing these negative lies and bad things about ourselves that people might have told us, or a thought that came in our mind that we weren't paying attention and we ran with it, and now it's become part of who we are. So I want to encourage you that our brain is one of the most powerful tools that we have, and that we should never leave it unguarded, okay? Whether you're a spiritual person or not, this is just life. Like, we should always pay attention to every single thought that's coming to us in our mind, because it could be something that's not serving us. And oftentimes, guys, our thoughts, if we're not paying attention, are thoughts that are going to harm us and not help us. So I want us to begin to be cognizant and aware of the thoughts that are going through our minds. Like, just during the day, grab your notebook and jot down, oh my gosh, I just heard myself look in the mirror and say, you are so fat. Like, you're like, where did that come from? Like, I even caught myself sometimes doing that. I thought, oh my gosh, I did not just do that. So immediately, as soon as that thought comes in, I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. That's a lie. I'm just going to reject that thought. So every time a thought comes in our mind, we have the ability to choose either to accept it or to kick it out. So I want us to get into the habit early on in the next 2 weeks and for our rest of our lives to be cognizant of what movie is playing in our head. What are we receiving? What are we rejecting? Because we do not have to accept every single thought that comes to us. Okay, we need to be on guard to guard it and be like, this is my most powerful. If you had, like, a sack full of diamonds, I'm pretty sure you're not just going to leave it sitting out there and go, okay, well, I'm going to go do something else right now and not even pay attention to the sack of diamonds right there. So our brains are like a sack of diamonds. Like, we're not going to just leave it out in the open for anything to come at it. We're going to be like, no, this is my most precious thing that I have in my life, and I'm going to hold on to it and make sure that it's protected. So that's what our brain is, guys. Whatever we take in comes out. So I want us also just to be aware of, like, what are we thinking? Where are these thoughts coming from? Are they mine? Are they from someone told me? Is it God's ancient enemy messing with me? Is it serving me? Is it gonna help me reach my goals and keep me moving positive, or is it gonna suppress me and knock me down? So really being cognizant of our goal, of our mindset and what's happening is so important to our life. And just being on guard, guys. The beautiful thing is when we, once we begin to build the habit of rejecting the negative thinking, and I want you to, even when that negative thought comes in, ask yourself, what's the truth? Okay, this is obviously not truth. This is a lie. This is ridiculous. Where did this come from? And then the next question should be, what's the truth? Now, if you're a spiritual person, you're gonna ask God, what's the truth? Like, what's the truth to this? How do you see me, right? And those are really good questions to ask yourself. Or you ask yourself, what's the opposite of this? This is not the truth. So what's the opposite? What's the truth? This is a lie. So what's the opposite of that lie? What's the truth? And write it down. And every time that thought comes back in your mind, you can replace it with that truth that you know that it is. This is the thing with our brain, though, guys, is our brains are wired so that we can't fake it till you make it. Doesn't really happen in brain science, okay? If your brain doesn't believe something, you can't pretend and force it to believe it. It just won't. So when that negative thought comes to you and you recognize it's a lie, I want you to think about what the truth is, but it has to be something that's believable, right? You can't just use an affirmation statement that you don't really believe. It's not going to change anything. But I want you to really think of, okay, maybe the truth is, maybe you're like, your lie could be, I hate vegetables. I hate vegetables. I hate eating healthy. Now, maybe you really do, but that's not really going to serve you. It's going to hurt you from making progress here. So maybe the opposite could be, well, okay, I'm learning to love to eat healthier. I'm learning to love vegetables. When you say I'm becoming, I'm learning, I'm growing, that's believable, because You are. So that's something you can replace that lie with truth. So this is a super simple exercise. I'm not going to go on any further, but I want you to, your engaging question today is, what's a lie that you've been believing that you know you need to replace with truth, and what is that truth? So that's your engaging question for today. Have a fantastic day. Keep rocking it. You are awesome, and love you guys. Bye.